Yo, this Mac
and Alexis.
This is the Judge Us Not podcast. We got my boy Dame in the building, and got my girl Creason here. We got an interesting topic to discuss with her.
Oh yeah,
and we finna talk about what I like to call love lockdown.
Oh, I didn't know you named it.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I named this shit. I was ready for this, bro.
Okay,
So we just finna talk about your experience with dealing with somebody that's incarcerated. Mm-hmm. So my first question is how did you meet your husband?
I met him before we got together at the slaughterhouse. And that's T's house.
Yeah, that's
T's
okay.
Slaughter.
I thought that was a club. I was like, I ain't never been to that club. Well, that's new.
Yeah.
It's a neighborhood thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we didn't really interact like that.
Yeah.
And then, when we got together, Jennifer, his sister, she's my homie, and so I was like, who we going to visit him? Like what's going on? And so I was like, should I go visit him?
That's what's up.
Like,
Oh,
damn.
really? Mm-hmm. Oh, so that you guys didn't interact too much before?
We would run
okay.
into each other and then we'll say what's up,
So you were just going when you first visited them. You were just like just to show support, like just showing love.
Yeah, because I was like, I heard about his story.
So I was gonna say, what was the main thing that kind of grabbed you, that hooked you to make you want to do that?
I just felt very compassionate towards him. Felt not bad. It was just more like at the time too, I was feeling like I know how it feels to not have anybody, even though you got a lot of people around you. So I was just like, man, he needs a lot of love right now. So I was telling her like, I'll go visit him, tell him I'll go visit him. And then so he called me. We started talking on the phone like every day. And then, he sent me a visiting form. And I went to go visit him. But we had been talking for maybe 3 weeks before I went to go visit.
Okay.
And the very first visit, people exiting out of the visiting room and they all kiss, they kiss when they say goodbye. And I'm like, this nigga better not try to kiss me, right? I'm like, damn, I think he's going to. And then so I was like, what am I going to do? What if he does try? And then he did. So I was like, shit, I ain't going to embarrass him, to be like, back, I'm like, fuck it. And then from there, he just called me like, damn, so you finna be my girl? I'm like, damn, oh man.
So that wasn't your intentions then. It was more so just like I could tell he needs something. I know I could resonate with that, and I'm just there for him support wise. But
just to be supportive.
Romantically, that wasn't even the initial.
No,
thing.
and I'm gonna keep it 100. So before him too, I was talking to somebody else in prison, and that didn't end well at all. So I should have learned my lesson from there. So that's why my intentions were not to go back into something that I already had a bad experience with.
Gotcha.
And then so, I just know he needed support. And he only, his sister, you was visiting him. But as far as you want to see other people and females really, so I was like, shit, I'll go visit him.
Okay.
And then, but.
Wow, so he got you with the kiss.
He got me with the kiss.
That's hella funny.
Because I remember, because when I found out that y'all started talking is when the day you was doing my hair.
I was braiding hair.
Yeah, she was doing my hair, and I was just like, she was like, this is so and so on the phone. I'm just like, for real? I'm like, oh shit, damn, I'm chopping it up, but I'm just like, damn, when did this happen? You know what I'm saying? So I just thought it was dope because I asked him the same thing too because I knew he really didn't have people like that either, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, yo, bro, send me a form if you get a chance, whoop, you know what I'm saying? So that was shocking.
Yes, it was shocking. It's very shocking to a lot of people.
How long was that time frame? Like when did you guys start dating from the time you actually started talking to him?
So it was 3 months. I started talking to him and then 3 months into it, that's when he was like, can you be my girl? So I was like, okay. And then it went fast. So March we got together. That was 2015. And then July 2015, we in the visiting room and he was just acting hella funny. And I had been turned up the night before. So I'm sitting there just dead in the visiting room. And he was just acting hella funny. I'm like, the fuck is he doing? Like, you know, and then he stands up in front of everybody. I'm like, bruh, what are you doing?
Oh,
and, you know,
shit.
people, the police in the booth looking at us. And then he just got on his knee. I was like, oh my God.
And how long has this been?
It was like 6 months then from at that point.
Okay.
And then so he asked me to marry him. And mind you, this is like a visiting room with like hella people in there.
Yeah.
So I was like, dang.
Almost like how you was feeling with the kids. Like, I don't want to marry with nothing, but
yeah, but it wasn't something that I was thinking about, you know. It was just kind of like, really, marriage, you know, and knowing that he got time.
Yeah.
Like, not just a few years. It was like, you know, he got time. And then so, but yeah, I told him, yeah, you know, shit, fuck it. Like, I was like, yeah, I got, like, yeah. I said, yeah. And then we didn't get married, though, until like a year and a half after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of take it slow. That's what's up.
Let me ask you, I got a quick question. So that day you get proposed to, you obviously say yeah. When you go home, did you ever have feelings of like, what the fuck did I just do earlier today? Like that really just happened right now.
I was like more excited about it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it was just like, damn, I can't believe he did that. But then I ain't gonna lie, like before we even got married, he was married before me.
Oh, okay.
So I had to file the divorce and all this shit. Like, hold on, wait a second. Got me fucked up, you know, I got to do this. And so, but I was thinking about it like, am I doing the right thing? Because, you know, what kind of life is it going to be for me? Like, you know, and then.
Sure, you probably had a lot of people in your ear too.
Oh, yeah. That's till this day. It's like, you know, we have a lot of people who just try to tell me like, you know, you deserve better. Like, what are you doing? And I kind of get looked at sometimes like I don't love myself because of being with somebody in prison, you know, but it's not even about that. It's just more like me and him being together is like really between me and God, you know, and like he knows what I'm here for and like how much I really just want to be there for somebody who at this time in his life, he may feel like he ain't got nobody, you know, like he got his family. They was there too before me, but as far as like being in there and knowing you have somebody, like a person that you can feel like, you know, this person got my back, like to the fullest, you know, like day in, day out, something that he could look forward to.
What did your family think when they found out you was talking to somebody that was incarcerated?
Oh, they're not very big fans of it.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough for a family to take.
Yeah, but my mom came.
Is your dad in the picture?
My dad, yeah, he just passed away. But he when I was talking to him, you know, he would tell me like, you know, that I respect you for what you're doing to like visit him and like being with him, because if we had a family member like that, like we wouldn't leave him out there like that either. So he respected it. I think he thought it was a phase. And then when we were getting married, the day I got married in prison. So my mom came, my 2 sisters, my 3 sisters, and his mom. My dad was like, I'm coming. You know, he started getting dressed. I was like, you can't come because, like, you know, you got to get clearance and all this shit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, but it was cool. Like, we came back to the house. I had tea and dough there, a few friends, and we had, like, a party. He had a phone at the time, so he's on FaceTime the whole time. They got me some roses to like throw your bouquet type shit.
Got creative with it, like
right, and my dad was there. We just celebrated, and it's been I don't know, it's been really tough though, like having a marriage in prison, and then we didn't get family visits. Family visits are what used to be called conjugal visits. So we didn't get those till 2019.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long has it been since y'all got married?
2016. So we've been married 5 years now.
Okay. And then after you got married, there was how much before you guys could have the visits?
3 years.
3 years.
3 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I didn't even know. I was like, shit, damn.
Like yeah.
That's
Definitely like wait a minute.
Damn, I'm gonna have to wait till he come home. Like sheesh.
Yeah.
Got that phone on deck though, but what the hell? Yeah. But yeah, then when we got our family visit, it was August 2019.
Wow.
And then,
talk about the build up, boy. That's like, man.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Okay. You walked up in there, you're like, oh, I'm about to destroy your man.
That is very that's like a unique situation. You know, not too many people could say they've been in that position. It's one thing to be involved with somebody and then have to wait 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is, but to just have to wait that long to, you know. So even in your visits, you know, how did the visits? Because you had like regular visits, right?
Yeah,
Like is that like through the glass or like at a table?
No, it's in person. So like you come in there, you can kiss when you get in there, and then you pick wherever you're gonna sit at a table. It's usually with like another couple or whoever. And then you can walk around the visiting room, hold hands, like you know, you got the cops watching you and everything. But it was very, it was like more. It was very free. Like you know, you could sit right next to each other, put your head on his shoulder or whatever, and then they have like a kids area. I mean, you know, so one day my daughter will go there too, but. He was in High Desert for a minute, and that was different. Drive, yeah, and I would make it out there too, at least twice a month.
Funny. Well, I was just like, damn, he been in Vanderbilt for a minute. I'm like, well, did he ever go somewhere else? But he was. I forgot he was in High Desert. That's right.
And then he came back. So, but I followed him to every prison, and like took that drive. And if it was out there in High Desert, sometimes I would even make a 1-day trip, like on a holiday or something. I'll drive. You know, 4 or 5 in the morning, get to Susanville, like 9 o'clock, stay the whole day till like 2:30, and then drive right back.
Wow, that's dedication right there. Just for, and how long the visit?
It's usually from 8 to 2:30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a good amount of time, though. Man, yeah, that's Talk, especially like affection wise or like. Talk about a tease, like for years, like you know, especially being able to kiss them.
So how was that dynamic? Just as far as you, like, as far as the family visit goes, like, did y'all ever talk about like boundaries when y'all got married? Like, okay, what am I allowed to do? Because I know you're not here. You know what I'm saying? Like, did y'all ever talk about like just relationship wise?
Like,
I guess
he knew as far as like my friends go. You know, I kick it with nothing but dudes, really. And so, like, and he knew them before. He was kicking it with them, too, before, you know, me. So, it just comes with a lot of trust. He doesn't ever question what I do. He doesn't tell me I can't do anything. Like, he just, you know, he knows that I know better than to cross any boundaries, like, as far as, you know, if there are any. But there are some, you know, in a marriage. And so...
It's just like kind of like some unspoken, like we ain't gonna talk about it. We just like you know better type thing.
Yeah. So he's very. It comes with a lot of trust. Like, but me on the other hand, he in prison. I'd be like, "Who you calling? Why you didn't call me? You call somebody else?" And
So there is times like that where you.
It's a lot of that. Cause like to be honest, you know, as far as I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. Like you know, as far as like my first experience with it, I brought that into this. So, like, it took a while for me to get over that, to be able to really give him all of me, like, at a good space. And I had to look at myself to be like, shit, he's already incarcerated. Like, why are you going to bring any extra stress to his life to, like, you know, try to accuse him of shit? And he in prison. You know, but I seen it, though, like, firsthand. Like, in the visiting room, I done seen... these motherfuckers is ruthless.
Yeah, like you was with a different girl the last visit.
Yeah,
like you can see
like
this.
Talk about it. What crazy shit have you seen in the visiting room? As far as like
this one couple, she had been coming the same time as me, like for years, you know. And one day I see him sitting out there, and it's a new bitch. I'm like, oh, he out of pocket, like you know. And then the girl though, I'm like, I was telling my husband, I'm like, bro, the girl outside, like the girl, the regular girl. Yeah. And he was like, for real? I'm like, it's about to go down, right? So she come in the visiting room, and like this nigga pushed her out, the regular girl. And I'm like, ooh, boy, that took me back there too. Like if that was me and him. But like it was crazy. And then there's this other dude, I'm talking about, this nigga would have visits every slot hour, like every slot time for the visiting. It'd be one girl coming. and then boom, her time will be up. They cut that visit. You know, sometimes they have like time limits, like 2 hours. It depends on what time you come out. And then so, boom, he'll leave from there. The next thing you know, he come right back out. It's a new girl coming right here.
Wow.
Like, and then one time, 2 girls came at the same time, and he didn't come out for so long until I think he probably had one of his partners out there, like telling him, like, "Oh, she left," and then he came out. But the 2 girls were in the visiting room at the same time, and somebody must have told him, like, the other one gone. Then he came out.
Wow,
That's crazy.
Don't that say a lot about men? Like even if you down.
Gotta weigh out your options,
you still have that
They make
in
it
you
happen.
where you want to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shit,
And
it's probably even easier. You got nothing but time to be able to like coordinate everything.
Right.
And I can see that just as far as like just being in there, just like you know that you in there. It's just like, what are the odds that this person finna stay around? You know what I'm saying? It's just like with me, just like gambling with it. Like I wouldn't want to take that chance with this one person. You feel me? Like I would want to like. Okay, let's.
That is one thing I did have to realize.
around,
Like,
yeah.
shit, they probably don't. They probably do juggle these women because not a lot of women can like stick around for a long period of time. So
Yeah,
they gotta
yeah.
have these different options, you know.
Yeah.
But if you do, like, I always tell my husband, like, you know, for somebody to be in your predicament and to have like a good woman and you like fuck her over. Like that's just tells a lot about your character, but like your karma too. Like what you put out into the universe gonna come back to you.
Yeah.
So like I always tell them, like, shit, I'd rather you keep it real with me to be like, shit, I'm just with you during my time right now. Like, you know, to help me get past it or whatever it is. Just let me know, and that'd be up to me to
choose
accept
what you
it
want.
or whatever.
Do you feel like that sometimes? Like him proposing to you and stuff like that. Do you feel like, damn, is he doing this shit just out of like desperation? You know what I'm saying? Like, do he really fuck with me? Like, how does that feel?
I mean, I've questioned him multiple times to be like, man, like I'm not naive. You feel me? I'm not dumb. You feel me? Like, I feel like sometimes you just with me because of what I do for you, what I can do for you, and then you know, I just let him know, like, shit, if that's the case, then just let me know. But now, especially that I'm a mother, I've just now realized or learned to love myself. So like certain shit, I just be like, man, like this shit for the birds. Like, you know what I mean? But then I see everything we have gone through. And then before me, like I said, he had his family. So it's really not about the money.
Right.
Like he had people there taking care of him, his dad, his sister, you know? So it wasn't never about what I could do for him. So then I just looked at everything like, man, I mean, regardless if he telling me the truth, or not, like I said, it's between me and God, and whatever he chooses to do when he get out, I understand, and this was all my choice, so I can't be mad because regardless, I know what could be the outcome. You know what I mean? Like shit, he come home, he went in at a young age. I mean, you know, he missed out on a lot of time.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna ask you that too. Like, like when he comes out, do you ever wonder like if things will change or whatnot? But it sounds like, you know, you thought about that and you're willing to kind of play it whatever happens.
Whatever
you got
happens.
it. Yeah.
And like, you know, now that we have a daughter, I don't want to sit here. Sometimes I do think about things, but I don't want to sit here and just say, nah, I'm a pick me now. Like I gotta pick us as a unit because I want to try everything, give everything an opportunity before I try to say, nah, that's not how it's going to be. Like he might just get out and say, fuck her, you know, but now that we have a daughter, you know, I want her to be able to have a family and see us together at least, you know what I mean? Like outside of prison.
Yeah. No, that's what's up. Yeah, because them assumptions will get you. People, they start assuming where it might be like that.
Right.
We get so worked up off of some shit we made up in our mind when
I was about
there
to
ain't
say that.
even
Get
nothing.
caught up in your own head and you didn't talk the whole stuff a story and that didn't even happen yet. You're like, no, fuck that. No, I can't do it. Like, goddamn. Like, what did I do? Like, so,
And then I've also learned too, like I got to look at myself. Like I said, like I've put him through a lot too. Like I could be very disrespectful. Like I am not even gonna lie. Like I've disrespected him a lot of times to like make him feel less than when he's already at the bottom. And so I've had to look at myself to be like, man, what is it about me that I can change or like for this to really work?
Right.
And so like I've been trying to I look up therapist things, read up on like things about myself, you know, what kind of partner I am, and even with him, and I just share it with him, and things have we're starting to connect more in ways that we're both growing together.
Yeah, that's
like
what's up.
mentally.
Yeah.
And as adults, because you know when we got together, we was still like
Kids,
young,
yeah.
you know, like we both was just doing fucking
Hood
around,
rat shit.
you know,
No,
and so that's it's been cool now, and I just learned like shit. I married this man, and really I married him with God in my heart. So then that's what I stick to, is that I know he believe in God, so. We got to choose each other every day, even sometimes, even though I have these thoughts, but like, nah, he ain't gonna do that. Like, you gotta keep feeding your own brain positive thoughts, and you know what I mean, manifest that. Like, so now, you know, like shit, he gonna get out. We finna go here. We about to go there. We about to be at the club stunting on motherfuckers. You know, all that shit.
Yeah, no,
like,
that's what's up. Maybe sometime, maybe even his situation, him being in prison, not, you know, being out and about, and he has some time to, like, you know, you guys have time to build on those things like you was talking about, like the mental building yourself up. So,
and I think it's dope that you even like thought about every scenario. You feel me? The fact that you like thought about like, okay, what if this shit don't work out? Okay, but what if it do? How can I put? You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that you taking the initiative to like read psychology books, or you know what I'm saying, anything that you could possibly do to get your mind right, to make sure his mind right. Like I think that's a big ass step, because that's something that you really don't have to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you willing to take that leap for him, basically. You know what I'm saying? And you know you need to do it for yourself as well. And it's just like, I think that's shit. That's big.
Shit, I love him to death though. Like that's my person.
Yeah.
Like.
So definitely no regrets.
Nah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So what I want to get to though, you mentioned you had a daughter. So the family visits come. What made this? What did you think about when you found out you got pregnant? What was going through your head, and like, what was your scenario like? Be like, damn, what now? You feel me? Now am I gonna raise her while he in here? You feel me? Like, what was the scenario with that?
I mean, we talked about having kids, and then I was like, damn, I'm gonna be by myself though. And then I was like, shit, I live with my family, so I was like, I'm gonna have some support, some help. And then I didn't think about the technical shit though. Like, so I got pregnant. I told him on his birthday.
That's what's up.
And it was nice. You know, I took a picture of the stick, brought in the little photo. He like cried, and he was hella happy.
Yeah, I know he was.
And so luckily, like from the time that I got pregnant until she turned a year old, he had a phone the whole time. So through the pregnancy, like COVID, so I got pregnant in November of 2019, and then they cut off our visits, like in-person visits, December 14, 2019. And that was the last time I seen him till like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Wow. So almost 2 years, like I hadn't seen him, but I mean, we had a phone. But yeah, during the pregnancy, it was hard. Like, you know, like going to these appointments by myself. Like he'd be on the phone with me, but then, you know, as a pregnant woman, you got all these hormones.
Oh, yeah.
I go to the appointments. I see these women with their husbands, and, you know, sometimes I...
Really? You seen a lot of that? Because when I did that, man, I was like the only one in there. I'm like, damn, I need an award up in this motherfucker or something, bro. Like, they was like surprised I was there and shit. I was like, yeah, man, ain't I supposed to be here?
But
like,
during
damn.
COVID, they had to wait
Oh, yeah,
outside.
with COVID, yeah, it's
like
different.
you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
come in there. So, I mean, I guess it kind of worked out. But still, you know, I was like, shit, I'm over here taking my big ass to these appointments and shit by myself, like driving here and driving there. And I had built up a resentment, and I was always mad at him. Like I would always talk shit to like basically blame him.
Yeah, like putting you in that situation.
Yeah.
Like you got me out here doing this shit by
Right.
myself.
Like,
you know
look
what
at
I'm
me,
saying?
I'm over here fucking doing this and doing that, and what do is all these other females, like, what the fuck? You know, I was always mad.
can
And
only
then
imagine.
when I gave birth to her, he was there. My sister was with me. You could only bring one person, but he was there as far as like hit the phone. So it was a good experience for him and to see that, you know.
Yeah. Thank
And
God
that
for
was cool.
technology, huh?
Man.
Boy, back in the day, it would have been zero.
Right.
Nothing,
He'd have had to call the payphone like I had the baby, you know.
Damn.
And so that was different. And then the first few months of her being born, like I had very bad postpartum. And again, I took it out on him. Like a lot of the times I took it out on him, and I would just really disrespect him. And, you know, it just took a while for me to really learn myself. I think it's just now that I'm starting to really get back to who I was before I was a mom. And I'm still learning. And I'm still kind of like going through the motions to be like, damn, this is my life now. But most of the time, when I am like doing all these things, like taking her when she's sick now, I take her to the emergency room by myself, and I just be like, fuck, like what did I do?
Yeah.
Like, damn, you know, she's a blessing, you know, like she has changed both of us in a lot of ways. But still, I just be like, damn, this shit rough.
Yeah. It's rough for two. Even if he was out, it's rough. So it's extra rough by yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. So he would talk about having another kid. I'm like, fuck that. Like, shit. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm one and done.
Yeah.
Or like at least until you come home.
Yeah.
You know. But
and when's he come home?
He has like maybe 3-4 years left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
3-4
got a
years.
few years. Okay.
But he done been down like 12. Yeah, so.
Okay. Wow.
And I've been with him for 7 years, going on March next year, 7 years.
Wow.
Damn, I thought he had a couple more years left. I could have sworn he told me 23.
No, it's like 24. Yeah, like 24.
So that'd be like 3 more, yeah.
Like two. But then, you know, sometimes with the parole board, like they try to make everything longer than what it's supposed to be.
Wow. Dang, so he mentioned another kid then, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I do too. I don't want my daughter to be, you know, but I come from a big family. Okay. And then he also has 2 sisters too. So, you know, and I don't want her to have somebody like a sibling. Sure. But so
I'm one of those motherfuckers that don't believe in solo babies, bro. Like, I don't believe in solo babies, bro. I feel like if you gonna have one, you gotta at least have 2.
At least 2, right?
Sometimes them pregnancies be tough, or just some people realize they like, ooh, this kid ain't for me. This stuff ain't for me.
It's mama shit. Like I've always had the nurturing part of me, always since I was younger. But when it's your own kid, swear to God, my patience be like this thin. I can sit your fucking ass down right now, like you know.
Everybody like kids until they got their own.
Hell yeah.
It's different.
Man, he be on the phone and like when he had a phone, I'm like, man, she acting up. I'm finna whoop her ass. Like, you know, and she a little baby. And I've also had to teach myself too. Like, shit, this is my first time, you know? Yeah. I tell myself now, like, she's just a baby. Yeah. She didn't ask to be born. Yeah. Like, shit. I wake up now because I work from home too. So working from home and taking care of her is hella hard. Yeah. So like you never get no time to yourself. Never. Yeah. And she's hella attached to me because of COVID. Like she barely see anybody. Yeah. So like a babysitter done quit on me already.
Oh yeah. It's no joke though. It takes some time.
It takes time. Yeah.
Shit, my kids is 12 and 8. And I'm just now like. Okay, I think I know what I gotta do now. Like, you feel me? So it takes some years.
I got some older kids, but you know, I just had a newborn. So, like, what you got to tell yourself is, especially like with kids. Like I was telling my brother this, I'm like, man, he yelling at his son, like, bro, don't do this. Da, 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 da. I'm just like, bro, he's a kid, bro. Mm-hmm. He don't know better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be mad that he doesn't know better. No. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, he doesn't comprehend it. You just gotta like show him that shit ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? But you can't yell at him like, you know not to touch that. No, he don't. No, he don't.
Everything is new to them.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But I love kids, man. So I don't even want.
But he better at it than me over the phone. Shit, he over there. I'm telling her stop doing something, and I'm yelling and shit. And then he's on FaceTime. You know, it's like Charlie. You know, and she just sat her ass down. Yeah. I'm like, God damn, look at that. Like, this nigga ain't even here. She listening to him. Yeah. And so I'm telling him, I said, damn, you better at this shit than me. Because, God, boy, I'm ready to whoop her ass. But
that's probably going to be good, though, when he get out. Because then that's like, you know, you're going to get a little break.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait. But I can't wait to see them, like him finally hold her, you know. Yeah. He hasn't seen her in person. It's gonna be big for him. And, you know, luckily he's had a phone since she was born. So like when he be calling now or even on FaceTime, you know, every night we FaceTime, and when he got his phone touched, she like, Dad. I'm like, oh man, it's over. Phone done. Like, man. You know, when he called from the payphone and she hear the, you have a collect call, you know. She already know. Hi, daddy, you know. I'm like, damn, that's what's up. And so,
ain't that a true how innocent kid, like she don't even know, like that's maybe not the most common thing to be doing.
Right.
Like, that's just her. That's her.
But
reality.
she knows, damn, this is where my daddy at, you know.
Yeah.
But she looked dead on him too. She looked dead on him. She don't look nothing like me. But
I'm like, a little bit.
Some of her mean facial expressions.
No, she definitely got his look though, for sure. She definitely got his look. During the family visits, like how does it work? I guess how does the family visits work? Like as far as like arrangement goes.
So like he has to go put in an application to his counselor. Then the counselor like looks over his file, make sure he ain't been in trouble. Then the counselor turned into the family visit coordinator. Then that's the one who gives you the date. Then they send him the paperwork back. Then he sends me some paperwork I gotta sign, and then you gotta like order food and send in a money order for the food, and then like sign all these papers that you ain't gonna bring this, you ain't gonna bring that. Mm-hmm. Then when you get there, it's hella weird, but you park your car there at the prison, and they they take you to the back, and you really in the prison. So at the visiting room, when you go down in the prison, it's the visiting room right here, but the family visits is like straight in the back. I'm like, oh damn, I didn't know that's where it was at. But it's like a real deal apartment. Yeah. So they assigned you to these apartments, and so they got like a little play area in the front, but of course you got the wall.
Yeah,
You get dead bolted in there, and then it's the door into the apartment.
Okay.
And then the apartment got like a living room, got 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, a kitchen. It's like a real deal little apartment, like full kitchen and all the shit.
And how long is the visit?
Friday to Sunday.
Oh, okay, so it's a whole weekend.
Yeah, whole weekend, yeah. And so you got to order food for the whole weekend, really, and then whatever you got left, you take it with you. But they call you all through the fucking night is when they want to call, like through the night.
Like you know where I'm at.
What does it cost? Like just a check?
So they got to do count for the inmates. So they'll call and then give him your number, and then he got to go outside for count. Okay. But they do it through the night. Like, why you don't do this during the day? And then they do like a wellness check for the visitor the second day, and then they'll talk to you like, are you okay? Like, you know, is everything fine? And then that's that. But we just watch movies all day.
I'm sure there's a reason, though. You know what I mean?
Somebody got killed.
Yeah, I was gonna say there could be some.
It had to be something like that.
Some women in there against their will, like emotionally, they ain't trying to be there, but they probably just get gorillaed in to come and visit it. You know what I mean? There's probably some crazy shit going on in there.
Yeah, that's the reason why I asked about the family visit, because I never even had an idea of what it looked like until I went to go see my brother, and I'm walking down the thing, and I'm just like, what the fuck is these little like apartments and shit over here? And I'm like, this can't be the family. I'm like, this shit is lit. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. So I had to I asked him, I'm just like, bro, and I'm just like, that shit was crazy to me. So I just wanted to I never knew that side of it. That was crazy to me. So yeah, that's.
Them motherfuckers decorated and shit, or it's just like hella plain? Probably not, right? Because they don't want to have too many objects.
They have a lot of kid things in there, like toys for the kids, books, and then you can order DVDs.
Okay.
Like rent DVDs before you get in there, CDs and shit. But they got everything: pots, pans, seasonings.
Really, I could really play house the whole weekend.
Yeah, like the whole weekend, and it's good for them, like to not lose that part of it. Just rather than being that little 8x14 or whatever.
Yeah. And how old until or how do you have to be for her to go with y'all?
Well, so for family visits, she can come now.
Okay.
And but for the regular visits, because of COVID, they put like an age restriction, so she got to be 2.
Oh, okay.
So she still can't come.
Got you. But she hasn't had no family visit with him?
No,
yeah,
so
that's what I was about to ask.
We was about to get one, but the phone got took. So that's like one of the what do you call this? Like their
like a strike or
like a consequence type shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of them. You get your family visit taken for a year. But they passing like there's this new law that they're trying to pass where like
I'm like,
saying,
damn, for a year
is a prisoner's right, not a privilege. Because right now they're saying visiting is a privilege. So they're trying to pass this law saying it's a right, and so like things like that, they shouldn't take their visits away. Yeah, so hopefully, that thing pass and we can get one in like 6 months.
Damn, so they suspended this shit for a year?
For a year.
That's hella long.
So we won't get one damn near shit. Who knows? Probably right before he come home.
How you feel when that happened? When he got caught with the phone?
Oh man, I was sad.
Was you sad?
I was hella sad. Like we've had the phone for like 2 years, so and then it was an instant heartbreak.
Like ready,
yeah.
That shit was like a Matt Karma, bro. Like, cause none of this shit happened until I talked to this motherfucker.
Oh yeah,
I talked to him and boom, fucking the phone. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
this nigga ain't never had no problem, and I was even telling him then, like, bro, just call me on the jail phone. It's good. You feel me? Like, nah, nigga, it's finna be cool, bro. I hit him up one day. And was like,
they heard he was finna be on Judge's Night. We was like, nah, let's go grab that phone, man.
So he was like, so somebody was talking through the grapevines, man. So I ended up hitting him up, and then she hit me with just like, yo, I'm like, fuck. She called. Off his shit, and I'm like, damn, what's up? I'm like, is this nigga good? You feel me? Her, I'm like, damn. She like, yeah, that shit gone. I'm like, fuck, yo. Yeah. And I just didn't want that, because I talked to her about having him on it because I didn't want this shit to happen, because I knew the risk for it. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, I'm like, he like, but that's good. I'm like, nah, nigga, I'm gonna talk to your wife first, nigga, because you're not finna get caught up with me, nigga, and then blame me and her get mad at me over this shit. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna call her first, and if she okay, then we'll do it. And she gave it okay, and that shit never happened, man. They got this shit took it anyway.
He was hella juiced for it, too.
Yeah, he was hella excited. Man. He really wanted to tell his story and shit.
He did. And he got a story to tell for sure.
Yeah, for sure. He grew up rough, man.
He was 19 when he went in.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
His birthday in 2 weeks, on the 23rd. He about to be 32.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been rough for him.
Wow. Ain't that a trip how like you obviously probably got a story too a little bit, you know what I mean? Like to what brought you to like kind of resonate with his situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? Ain't that a trip thinking back like what you was put through led you to feel this way to do this, and now this is what now you have a baby,
you have a baby, married.
Yeah.
They got that show Love After the Lockup. They were like, y'all should turn in a little audition for that.
I never seen that show. I never heard of that show.
It's crazy.
I thought you made that up. Ain't that what you said before we started?
No, I think he said lockdown. Yeah, this is Love After Lockup.
And I got that shit. Okay. I got that title from Kanye. The song.
Right.
And I just thought, it went together. So.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I thought of that shit. So yeah. Yeah, but no, it was just a play on words. But do you talk? Are you cool with the in-laws at all? Like, do you talk to the in-laws?
Yeah, for sure.
Is the family heavily involved with the baby?
Well, I take her over there. I just started taking her over there, like, cause with COVID, I was like really scared, cause she got COVID before. So we was in the house, so they really didn't get to see her much as a baby. Because of COVID, and I would just keep her at home. I was like really scared. She did get COVID too, like twice.
Okay.
She was like 6 months.
And she probably the second person I know who caught it twice.
Yeah,
so twice. Yeah, as a baby too, so it was scary.
Yeah, I haven't heard too many babies getting it either. That's a trip.
I had it too, so we just stayed in the house. But then she just turned 1, and they was all at the party. And then, recently like I said, she's like so attached to me, and I also, she needs to know them, that's her family. So I'm like, shit, I got to do my part. And like, if I got to just take her wherever I need to take her so she can spend time with them and know them, like, but she be crying like a motherfucker. I'm like, fuck it. She just got to cry.
Yeah.
But like, so when I go back to work in person, I'm gonna have her stay with them,
That's what's up.
So that she can spend time and know them. And I don't want to be that person to be like, shit, nah, I don't want to, as a mom, it's like, shit.
You feel like you don't want to, like, you feel like you putting a burden on somebody else or something
right.
like that. Like I feel it. Yeah, but no, you doing the right thing. Yeah, definitely do that. Definitely do that. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm trying to think what else we could ask.
So
we covered everything, man. I'm looking at my questions. I'm like, damn, we got everything in like the first few minutes. I
think you had. I don't know. What was the What would you say the hardest thing with dealing with? What was the hardest thing you had to deal with while he was in prison? You know what I'm saying? Like,
he was in a hole one time.
Yeah, I was gonna say besides the baby because I know that shit was like tough.
Yeah, that is tough. I would just say really the whole, my whole marriage right now, like just being in this situation.
It's still like something that you're used to.
It's just like, I mean, I've gotten used to it, but then sometimes I'd be sitting here like, man, kind of. Why I can't have my husband here, you know?
Yeah.
Like it is tough, but you know, you get a lot of haters too.
Yeah, I know you got a lot of people whispering and
man,
this and that.
Like always. Then you got friends that be trying to fake support you about it. And you got the ones
got the pillow talking niggas.
Yeah, you got the pillow talkings, you know, and she dumb, she this, she that. Like I said, you know, like she don't love herself type shit. Like, nah, I'm very aware of myself. That is one thing, like I said, like even if it was whatever the fuck he wasn't, his intentions is, like I'm gonna be 10 toes down all the time. So he get out, he wanna do that, shit, I'm still gonna be me. It's still, I'm gonna be on my own. Like, fuck it.
Yeah.
And that's what's interesting, because even if that was to happen, it's like you've been doing it by yourself.
Yeah, the whole time.
It wouldn't be
a big change, you know? But of course it'll hurt because you pour your whole
put your time into
my whole
it.
time. It's not about the money. You know, you can always get
money
money back.
You know what I'm saying?
I got a kid with you. Like, it's what you sacrificing to be with him at the end of the day. Like, I'm sacrificing a lot for the end result to be with him. Like, you know, when he get out.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I got a lot. It's a lot of backlash with our relationship, and sometimes I ain't gonna lie, you know, sometimes it get to me.
Yeah.
And then I project it to him, and then, you know, it's like now you just gotta learn how to tune it out.
Yeah.
Shit, nobody taking care of me and my family. Like nobody's putting, you know, helping me do this shit. You be helping us, so I appreciate you a lot.
I do what I can do.
And so like shit, you know, I'm just trying to ride it out, and then we almost there. Like shit, I'm about to be 7 years in.
Yeah, it's almost at that point. It's almost like, yeah, you went this far. Like you want to see, you know?
Yeah, I got to.
Yeah, you ready for the prize now, man?
Yeah,
fuck that. Like
fuck that shit.
Yeah,
I'm trying to sit back.
Yeah,
like,
for real. Man, when you found out you was pregnant, I know. Like how was that emotionally? Like, did you ever have moments where like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this, or did you have to like convince yourself, or was you just kind of like, you know, let's do this?
Oh yeah, I was like, look, we doing it.
Yeah,
like, we about to do this. And shit, during the pregnancy, I was hella. My emotions were everywhere, but he had a phone, so like it was good. You know, like we had a good experience as far as that went. Well, kind of. Like we had went through a rough patch too while I was pregnant because, you know, he was going through whatever he was going through. And then I think that kind of made me, we like went through a really rough patch actually. And then that made me second guess everything. Like, damn, man, I fucked up. You know, and then, but like I said, if you really love somebody and shit, like you got to learn how to choose them and be there. So we worked through all that. And then we even seen a therapist before, like a marriage counselor.
Oh, really? They set that up?
I did.
Do that through that? Oh, okay.
I had him on the Zoom, and they was like, what the fuck, you know?
Oh, wow.
And I was like, nah, fuck that. You finna get on FaceTime. We about to do this shit right now. Like, you know, so we seen a marriage counselor with therapists, and we went through that. Like, we've tried a lot of things before, like write down the good things, the bad things, or things about you that I don't like and that I feel like you can do it this way. And then looking into different resources to like help us figure out who we are as people, as a person, you know, individually, and then come together.
Yeah. Wow. That's a lot to say. Like, even just in today's age, all the resources we had, like I'm just thinking that like this situation 40 years ago, 50 years ago, when we didn't have just like think of all the tools that you were able to use, and you didn't have none of that. You know what I mean? It'd be a completely different. But a lot of people did it though.
And,
you know?
and this is why that kind of gets me with people today. Like, oh, I didn't get your number. Like, I couldn't get a hold of you. Like the lack of communication that people have doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? You can find anybody any given time. You feel me? Mm-hmm. If you didn't get a hold of me because motherfucker you didn't want to get a hold of me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's
ride a kite.
Do something. Nah, that's shit, man. That's deep, man. That's deep. Do you think his time remaining played a part of your decision making of marriage?
No.
Like you think
when we got married, shit, he still had like 8 years left.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, if he was like on some lifer shit though, would have been?
Yeah, definitely. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it all the way solid. Like if he told me he had life, probably would have never even started a relationship with him because I know me. Like I'm not finna. I can't. Yeah. Like I wouldn't be able to hold up my end.
Like you'll be really like starting a family like in jail. You know
I see it happen though.
Yeah,
it's a lot of females in there. When I be talking to them, and visiting, that that my husband got life. Like, damn, that's a lot of respect.
But
that's
so some of those females
that's literally the definition of marriage. Like until death do it, like that's
right.
But for some of those females, do you know if their husband just got life or did they go into the situation?
They went into the situation.
Damn, that's deep.
Yeah. But it actually too. You mean there's a girl that I did meet, and she met him like he was already in there with life, and she still went into it.
Wow,
that's crazy.
So I mean, it happens, but
that show you people just want that connection, like
right.
People need people, man.
Yeah. The technical
stuff. For me,
stuff.
Like even though I was in a bad situation, like this, it didn't end well. I was out there, talking to different people before I started talking to him, and then I just started seeing like shit. What the fuck is the difference between niggas in prison and niggas in the street? Like, might as well just talk to this dude who I know ain't gonna physically cheat on me.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Like the trust factor, did that play a part? Like, you know what I mean? At least he might do this and this, but I know he for sure ain't doing that.
He ain't doing that. Like shit.
Yeah.
And I'm telling my shit. If you finna talk to any female, you better make sure you get some money out of her and give me some too. Shit, fuck that.
Shoot a nigga $2. So closing, I wanted to ask you, what would be your advice from a woman or anybody going into a relationship and a marriage like with somebody incarcerated? Like what would be your best advice?
Man, you gotta love like wholeheartedly. Like what you're doing is not, you don't go into the situation expecting something out of it. Like as far as in return, like you can't go into in a relationship with somebody who's incarcerated and you doing all of this, you putting the money on the books, you getting them packages, you going to visit all the time. And then when it come around your birthday or like any kind of Valentine's Day, your anniversary, like, damn, this nigga didn't give me no flowers, or I can't go here, I can't go there. Like, you can't expect that. Like, and you can't throw it in their face either, because you know the situation. And I think that for this, like, particular situation, being incarcerated, in a relationship with somebody who is incarcerated, like, it just comes straight from the heart. Like, you gotta really, really dig deep inside of yourself to know, like, shit, I'm doing this and I'm doing it 100, like, all the way. And it's all about love and really with God, like, in the center of it, because it's you just don't know the intentions of somebody who is incarcerated sometimes. So you gotta don't be naive. Like really tell yourself, like, shit, if this is the situation, this is what it is. But you just can't hold it over nobody's head, because even if, like in our situation, if my husband was to come out and go a different direction, I can't be mad at him, because I knew what I was getting myself into. And I think that's like the biggest thing for you to know is you need to know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you about to deal with.
Yeah. This is your
And if
choice.
you're not ready for that, like, don't even put the fucking foot in there.
Ain't no half stepping
Nah,
in this type
you
of
can't.
thing. Yeah.
Because you got to understand, too, what you're going to put them through. You know, and they already going to do something. So if you're going to do it, like, do it all the way. You can't, it ain't no half stepping at all.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's definitely just hearing it, like just how you even say it, it just makes it such a pure act. You know what I mean? There's no materialistic, there's no conversation. You're not getting nothing. You're just purely doing it for that. You know what I mean? You know?
For the end result is for you guys to be together, you know, and I think from a female's perspective, from my perspective, is like being able to lift somebody else up. But at the same time, you learning some shit about yourself, you know, and that's probably like the biggest personal gain that you can get is growing mentally, because physically, shit, that's for sure out the card. Like, that's nowhere near. We ain't doing none of that. It's just straight mental connection, and that's all you have. And I think a mental connection is much greater than the physical connection, because even if the physical part dies, you know, you're always gonna have a friend. You're always gonna have a best friend, and that's what's gonna always have you guys be back together. Whatever, you know, any disagreements, like, it's gonna fall back on, like, this is my nigga. Like, this is my partner. Like, you know, she rocking with me. Like, I'm rocking with him. He rocking with me. And you know, you have that one person that, like, you can always, like, she finna ride all the time. You can't ride all the time, though, as far as, like, don't be asking me to bring nothing up in that motherfucker, because I am not finna go to jail for your ass.
Boundaries.
I think even with shit like that, like, I think it's out of bounds to even ask you to do some shit like that. You feel me? It's like, damn, where's your trust in me? You know what I'm saying? Like, how the fuck you
must not care about me because you ready to
Yeah.
risk me. But I seen it happen too.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it's some females I seen go down with shit in they bras or whatever the fuck, and with they kids coming up in there. Like, you stupid.
That really, I feel like something like that would really show the person that their intentions.
Their intentions,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
You know?
Yeah. But he ain't never once asked me to be like, can you bring a balloon in here? Can you never? Because I'm gonna keep it solid. The moment you ask me, I'm out. Because then that just lets me know, like, how you really feel about me.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to add just though, like, I know you've grown a lot, and so has him. Like, just talking to him, like, just listening to him, like, damn, nigga, you growing up, man, growing up. And I'm really excited for y'all, and I'm rooting for y'all, like, for real. And I just hope when he get out, you know what I'm saying, he, you know, do his thing and shit that works out for the best.
Right.
For real.
I appreciate that, yeah.
But yeah, we appreciate you coming.
Yeah,
and we appreciate you telling your story. And eventually we're going to get him to tell his story.
Right.
When he gets.
That's going to be a cool follow-up.
That's going to be cool.
That's gonna be a good follow-up.
Shit, look, like 3 years from now, you're going to have both of us over here.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely going to follow up with that, for sure.
That'd be good.
So yeah, man, case closed, baby.
Close the gavel.